What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the OT Radio Show, where today we're going to be diving into transforming this conversation about healing, liberation, and reclaiming your inner authority. Our special guest here today, how can I say this? Grammy-nominated music producer, author of What's Eating You, visionary, master herbalist, artistic willingness. I'm telling you, he does everything. And man, today is called breakthrough. We're going to break through. We're going to liberate you. We're going to heal you today. We're going to reclaim your inner authority. We're going to do all this today. And today I got Doctah B Sirius here on the show with your boy OT. Hey, we are here. We are here. We are here. What's up, Doc? How are you?
I'm doing phenomenally well.
Oh, man. Well, listen, before we get started, we have to play a track from your book. Because it's even in your book, What's Eating You, there's a track. So before we get into it, we're going to play this track right here. So Doc, take it away and play the track for us to get the vibrations going, to get the healing going, to get everybody's spirits going today, because today is breakthrough.
This track is called You. A-E-I-O-U. You owe it to yourself to be your best self.
Yeah.
It's all about your voice. The vowels A, E, I, O, U. It's about what you say. Your words materialize. And once you realize who you are and where you're going, you'll speak the language of the universe that opens up the veil, opens up the vortex to the deepest parts of you. This is medicine music at its best.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ooh, the vibrations. Ooh, everybody's liberation today. What's eating you inside? We're here today to talk about it. We're here today to get it out of you. We're here today to liberate you. We're here today to clear your mind. We're here today, and I got the man here, Doctah B Sirius here, joining your boy OT. Hey, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. We need that to start the show. We need to clear all of the negative energy. We need to clear out all of that space that are in us right now. And man, woo! Appreciate you. So let's go ahead and get started. You are a Grammy nominated music producer. You are now author, and now you put it all together. How hard was it for you being a producer and now transforming that into being an author?
Well, the challenge was to walk away from the music industry, realizing that the music industry was eating me. That I was owned by a machine, owned by a system that wasn't about the people. It was about war, finance. It was about business only. And me being an artist all my life, it's been about creativity and love. So after becoming very successful, I became ill. I became sick. And they said it was an autoimmune system disease, that they had never seen anything like this before. And they only gave me a short time. But inside, I knew it was time for me to walk away from creating music that was basically imprisoning the minds of people versus opening them up to their power and who they truly were. But I had to do that within myself. So I became ill, and I started studying natural health, everything. Read every book, everybody, every lecture, every teacher. I studied it all. And within a year, my whole life changed. And it was many years later that I was invited to go on Stevie Wonder's radio station, KJLH, and to talk about how I had gone. Because at the time, most of the big records I made were in hip hop. Even though that's not my root. My root has always been jazz, R&B. I started out as a percussionist, and it's about rhythm. It's about, using sounds and the ear candy to bring sweetness to life, to the mainstream. And so I got really big in hip hop. We did the very first hip hop records in Southern California that went gold and platinum. Me and my partner, we actually began the whole scene along with another artist, Egyptian Lover. We all happened around the same time, and we led the whole scene. And it was about music then. It was about street griots telling the story.
Right.
At some point, folks was coming to the studio with bullet holes in the car, and you know what I'm saying? And then I remember being at these meetings where I felt like all the folks in these black suits was kind of like praying mantises ready to eat. And they were telling us what we want to put in these records. And it wasn't like the guys in the studio was dictating the story. It was these other beings. And I realized that it was the most of the companies were owned by alcohol companies. It was owned by people who owned prison industrial complexes. And I realized that, this is about getting people to be agitated, get people to feel a certain way so they'll spend money, drink alcohol, and possibly end up in jail and work for free. And I said, whoa. And also was about, the disharmony that a lot of the music was programmed with was causing people to live a life that was not their natural flow. It was forced on them.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So walking away was one of the best things. And I had to, because my own system, my own spirit was saying, no, you can't do this anymore. You got another calling. But I learned a lot. I wouldn't change anything, and I remember being called by UCLA to teach a course on the music industry. And I was like, I only went to college for 2.5 weeks. I left to go hang out with George Clinton and them. I mean, I had trouble getting out of high school. I just barely made it out of the skin of my teeth. I don't know how you could have skin on your teeth, but some of them old statements, you know what I'm saying? But so I would realize that the industry, the way it was eating me. And that's what was making me sick. So I studied natural health and learned a lot about vitamins and herbs and minerals and orthomolecular medicines, and ended up being an herbalist and being on this show with Stevie Wonder, people, some beautiful radio host. Uh, that changed me, and they asked me to do a lecture, and the place was packed. Now I've always had an issue speaking publicly because, of course, when I was in school, I was unteachable. I was ADD. I was DDA. They was making up letters in the alphabet for me. You BBY. What is that? I don't know, but you got it. I remember coming home from school with a F. I was coming home from school with this F in algebra. I was so happy and joyful. I'm playing music, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing all the dance tracks. This how, you know what I'm saying? I got home and I said, Ma, guess what? I got an F. She says, well, you seem pretty happy. I said, I am. She said, why? I said, because F stands for free. She said, well, your father's not going to be too happy. He said, well, you have to go up in there and try to figure out the unknown number. I need to figure out what I know. You know what I'm saying? So school was a challenge. So now they're asking me to teach at UCLA. And I remember telling the dean, I says, I don't have no degree. She says, we'll give you one.
Wow.
We'll give you a teacher's certificate to teach this course because you have so much knowledge on the music industry. So I ended up with my partner. We ended up teaching management, publishing, production, how to be an artist, how to be a sideman or a studio musician, recording, engineering, because I had done it all. So we were teaching that. And we even had people like Jeffrey Osborne come to class. We had a lot of folks come to class to talk about their journey. But all of this was about medicine to me because I was giving back and helping to heal and giving people, letting people realize the power that they had within themselves. And it was after that because I just left music totally alone. Not totally. I mean, for myself, I always do music because that's my life. I've been doing it since I was a child.
Right.
But commercially, I wasn't touching it. And it wasn't until I did this event, and India Arie was one of the guests. And she asked me to perform with her. And, I just met her. And when I was done, she says, she pulled this CD out of her bag. And she says, Dr. B, is this you? And I had this project called Urban Shaman. Me and another partner who's an herbalist and a percussionist made this project, which was the first medicine music or healing or frequency music project called Urban Shaman. And, we used instruments made out of herbs and everything. I mean, so we could project the sound and the energy of healing. Using indigenous rhythms and sounds from all over the world. And we recorded water and, we bugs in Jamaica and the trees. It was all natural. And India had this in her bag.
Wow.
And she says, this you? I said, yes. She says, this is my favorite record. Would you be interested in working with me? I'm like, well, yeah. She said, but I want a record like this. So I ended up working with India Arie, and we did this song called India Song. I helped her with the album Testimonies of Love 1. And it was cool until the record company, when it got time to get paid and all that, and the contracts. I was like, man, there we go. This is it. You want to treat the people who are creating the music, like slaves.
Right.
So a lot of folks in music, I realized, were depressed, suppressed, sad, because even though they were great musicians and very creative, the business treated them like slaves, like animals. And a lot of artists didn't even receive any money. You have to go on the road. You don't get money from the record company, and they play with your cash. It's like a game. So I said, I'm into this natural healing thing now. I'd like to help a lot of musicians with their stress and people in the movie industry. It was about bringing them some relief in a natural way. But then I realized a lot of them were caught so deep that they couldn't feel it. They went into it. So I, after doing that radio show, and I did a lecture, I realized the healing was in the streets. That's who was open, just a regular person. And at that point, I remember getting on the stage and I used to stutter and I can't talk publicly because I got issues. You know what I'm saying? I can only play music. My language was music. But I got on the stage and started telling stories. And I started using little voices like this. And I had the sound of, the best one was the chickens. The chickens was the ones that got the people. I said, I remember calling up my aunt, and I remember she answered the phone. Doctor B, and she'd always talk like that. I was what you cooking? I'm cooking chicken. She cooked chicken all day, and I realized she had chickenaire's disease. And I called my uncle. How you doing? I heard you out there making some music. When you make a jazz record or something, or won't you do something that's positive? And I realized he ain't eating nothing but beef. And I said, oh wow, he's talking like a cow. So I used to do these animal sounds and say, people, they are what they eat. They act like what they eat. And most people are domesticated. So that propelled me into kind of being like the funny guy who talked about health. And I had to make it funny. But it's been a beautiful journey, but it has been a challenge. It's been a challenge since day one to get up on stages and talk to people, to be consistent and to be real with people and not play, with this thing. Because for me, it wasn't about the money.
Right.
And when I tied music back into all of this, it really went to another level. Doing the medicine music and also doing the herbs. But writing a book was one of my biggest challenges. Because in 1996, I had an event happen, and where everything changed. I was an herbalist and I was into natural medicine and music, but I had an event happen in the Bermuda Triangle where I have about 4.5 hours of missing time, and I was taken. Something happened. I still can't explain it all, but everything changed. And the message that I got was that most of us were being controlled by these parasitic beings that use us as a host. And there were all kinds, not just the physical ones in the body. There was cosmic ones, interdimensional ones, alien ones. And this was the problem on the earth, that this was like a slave planet. And no matter how free you are, you're still under the domestication energies of these beings. So I was like, whoa. And this became my new thing to help people deal with these parasites. So after that, I have, doing that and working with so many people and seeing so much success from what they call, quote unquote, unhealable diseases. They're uncurable and blah, blah, blah. Seeing people wake up from deep sleeps and all of a sudden they went from stage 10 to stage 0. We've got these stages and these numbers, you know what I'm saying? And they always tell you how big your tumor is. Your tumor is as big as 5 watermelons. Well, I'm not that big, but they got this scares, this fear. You know what I'm saying? But so 7 years ago, I seriously started writing this book, and that's when it all came to my childhood came up, because the average adult lives life as an adult based on the conclusions of a child. Average adult lives life as an adult based on the conclusions, especially between the birth and 7 years old. You become crystallized because you are mimicking up until then your parents, your world, the television, everything. You're just mimicking and you're modeling. So I was feeling this thing, this entity inside me, which was attempting to, bring me back to that time where I was illiterate. I can't even say it good. It makes me get nervous. So I had to deal with my own demons. And it took many, many years to write this 240 pages, because I'd write it and I'd stop and I'd leave and I'd forget about it. And then I'd go crazy and lose my mind and get into another project. I never had time. It was always an excuse. The computer died. The hard drive blew up. It was all these things happening around me the closer I got to completing of this book. And I remember when I was finally done, I remember crying. I had completed this book. It changed me because I had broken the spell that I allowed to be put on me as a child, saying that you can't, how are you going to write a book? That's for, literary people, intelligent people. And how are you going to be an author? Now, music, I can tell a story all day. Music, I can speak. But writing the words and also, being what they call dyslexic, these words would be moving around on the page, and my own internal enemy, the inner me inside myself, the self-doubter, the saboteur. A lot of us have a built-in saboteur that's whispering in our heads, that's trying to protect us from being successable. It'll talk you out of things. It'll create a storm. You go into the biggest meeting, in the book. And I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to be quiet and let you ask me some questions. There's a chapter in my book, What's Eating You, called
Mm-hmm.
Just in Time. I met this guy named Justin, and I when I was taking clients, I do this thing called psychological kinesiology, which is
Mm-hmm.
a process of helping people tap into themselves and using what they call muscle testing to
Okay.
get yes or no. It's like a lie detector test,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get a yes or no from a person's subconscious about almost anything, and it's the actual facts.
Mm-hmm.
They can't lie. So this client came to me, and he had to tell me a story, and the story was that he never really knew his father because his father went to jail when he was young, and the mother raised him, and every other thing. You just like your father. Your father wasn't no good. You ain't gonna be no good. You involved with this. You just like don't grow up like your daddy. Well, guess what? He grew up like his daddy. The
Mm-hmm.
daddy got caught up in some business scheme and went to jail for a long time. So he ends up doing the same thing because the mama programmed him by saying, you just like your daddy. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You're probably going to be no good. So he actually followed suit and listened to the instructions of the first God he ever knew, which was his mama.
Mm.
So he goes to jail, but in jail, he's very intelligent. He studies law. He studies all these things. And he actually creates this program to help keep people out of jail for youth that
Wow.
could be taught in high schools and everything to help people become entrepreneurs.
Mm.
So he came up with this and he wrote it up. He had a beautiful business plan. It was really good. They even let him out of prison early because the wardens and everybody, he was helping people go to college. He was actually teaching college courses in jail, in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a model student. Everybody loved him. They let him out early. He gets out and he wants to take this project and market it to different sponsors. So he went to banks. Every bank he went to said no. They weren't with it because he had a prison record. He had a felony.
Mm-hmm.
He finally goes to this one bank, a community bank, and they love it. They love the project. So they say, listen, we have already basically, all of us have said yes. You just got to have the head guy, the owner of the bank. He's got to sign off.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets, puts on his suit early and he's ready to go meet the guy on this special day. And he's sitting in the waiting room waiting to see this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly he gets an itch in his throat. And his eyes start watering. And he gets a little cough. He gets ringing in his ears. And I talk about this in the book. And by the time he goes in the office to see the guy, when they call him, it's like he's got a full-on flu. Like within 15 minutes, he's sick. He's sweating. He's got a fever. So the guy says, oh my God, you don't seem like you're okay. He says, no, I'm okay, man. He's coughing and he can't even really breathe. And the guy says, well, listen, we're going to do the deal. I read through your paperwork. I love your business plan, but you got to go home. He says, so go home and come back in 2 weeks when you're feeling better. So he goes home, man. He leaves. As he gets out of the building, all of his flu symptoms disappear. He gets on the bus to go home. He's perfect. But he can't. He got to wait 2 weeks to have the meeting.
Right.
He comes to me and he says, Dr. B, something happened. I heard you on the radio, blah, 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 blah. Something happened. It was a weird thing. Can you help me? So I realized what's happening. His subconscious is protecting the old story because the old story is something he's familiar with. So a lot of people don't want to create heaven on earth because hell is very familiar. They're used to pain. They're used to struggle. They speak the language of the strugglers. They go to the strugglers convention. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They go to the victim. They vote victocrats. It's about being a victim and who did what to you. That's the language of disempowerment that a lot of us come from. We don't speak the language of what they call the language of power. It's the language of weakness. So when he comes to me, we talk and we do a few sessions and I begin to give him these techniques and these things that actually reprogram his subconscious. We create these things called language syntax, which is a way you speak that actually sends a code to your processing center and changes the frequency of your subconscious. You see? So your subconscious is like, it's controlling almost everything, but there's a back door to that system because it's software. Software can be changed.
Right.
So it has a lot to do with how you speak, what you say, what you think, what you feel, what you eat, how you walk. So he is really interested in it. He goes deep and he goes back to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a new attitude. He walks in the bank and everybody's happy to see him. They say, he says, well, I'm ready to see, Mr. whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, only problem is he's gone.
Wow.
He left and he went to another bank. What? He comes back to me. He says, the deal is done. I says, no, it's not done. This is the test. Because when you move towards something that you desire in life, everything else is going to be pulling you also. Everything is connected to its opposite. If you're climbing a mountain, the higher you get, the more gravity is going to pull you.
Mm-hmm.
The most successful people have failed more than anybody else. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
The greatest baseball player in time. He hit more balls and more home runs than anybody else, Willie Mays, but he also struck out more times than anybody else because he never left the field, even in the rain. Yeah. So when we worked with him and he kept moving towards what he desired, he finally got a bigger deal and he became a very powerful person, helping people, with felonies and helping with schools and children. He created this program. This chapter in the book is called Just in Time. Wow. Because he had to change his timing and his frequency because what he was told as a child had crystallized in his head that he was going to be just like his dad. So a lot of us, we fail because we give up.
Yeah.
You gave up. Okay, but it didn't work. It didn't work the 3 times you tried it. It was the 10th or the 9th or the 20th time that it was going to be successful. So in our heads, we have to be careful because the saboteur, which is trying to protect the old way that you've been, actually could be eating you. That's why the book is called What's Eating You? Break free from mental, physical, and energetic parasites. The journey from opposition to liberation. You may have to go through hell to actually become successful. To get to heaven, you may have to go to hell. So the book challenged me. It actually was writing me. I had to break through my own saboteur of becoming an author and writing something that was going to be valuable. And I feel like what I've actually created now is a resource guide. It's a workbook. It's a template that you can use to change your life, to break free. And timing is everything.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. It's a special time that each of us has that we can open up the veil and change the world, change ourselves. But we've got to deal with the enemy within. The biggest enemy is ourselves.
I mean, you're telling the truth right there. I was always taught the but will always diminish what you're trying to do.
Yes, that's right.
And dealing with that, sometimes, how can you, how can I say this? How did unprocessed trauma, quietly affect like your relationship, your finance, your success, like these traumas that we are having through life? How is that quietly affecting that? What can we do about those kind of things? And how can we move forward to being the best version of ourselves?
Well, today is a brand new day. When you came to consciousness today, you were brand new. You are no longer the person that you were yesterday. You might wake up and not even remember yourself for like the first 10, 15 seconds. You have to figure out who you are. Wait a minute now. You look around the room and you say, oh, wait a minute. This is my bed. This is my room. And then you go to the closet and go get your problems and put them on. That's your outfit. You understand what I'm saying? That's your uniform. form. Because you're remembering the past and thinking that the past is going to repeat itself, and it will through you. So when we talk about ourselves from the past, here's a very good, a powerful technique.
Mm-hmm.
When you mention yourself, and if it's disagreeable, let's say it's a traumatic experience,
Mm-hmm.
don't say I. Say he or she. I remember when he, I remember when she, and point away from yourself. Even you might give the traumatic you a name.
Mm-hmm.
Willie. Your name is Bob. You know what I'm saying? Willie. Now, you know Willie, you see, now you're like, well, who are you talking about? Well, that's the old me. Or at least when you're speaking, say in the past, if you're talking about the past, at least send a message to your central processing unit that signals it that this is not now. Because if you speak, right, and we speak energetically and emotionally, your body thinks it's now. Your subconscious says he's talking about now. And your nervous system goes into fight or flight. Your digestive system stops. Your circulation becomes heightened because you just mentioned a problem that's happening now. But actually it's in the past, but the subconscious can't differentiate between right now and the past. So you got to trick it. Say he or she or in the past or it. Don't say I had this. And, you know, you go see the psychiatrist or the therapist and they lay you on the couch and remind you of all your problems. Now tell me, let's go back. You've been coming to the therapist for 20 years, laying on that same pleather couch. It ain't even real leather. You know what I'm saying? And they keep telling me, well, you know, and they just sit and listen and they write and they say, well, you know, it's all about your childhood. Can you come back and again in 2 weeks? This is commerce. Because once you make agreements right now, because they're contracts. Once you make an agreement that the past trauma is now, it crystallizes. In your body, you can feel it. So disassociate yourself, split yourself up. And if you listen, you'll hear certain people talk like this. Well, you know, she was crazy, you know, back in the day, you know, she used to always, and they keep looking over there like somebody's over there. Well, it is. That is the old you, because the old you couldn't be here now because every cell in your body is new in 7 years. Even your bones in 7 years are new. So that is not you. What is you is your memory of you and your agreement. And you've crystallized, right? It calcified the old you, and you are not able to move to a new place because you keep going and visiting the crack house. You're hanging with crackheads. What do you mean? Most people who have had a traumatic life, they go meet somebody. And that person can't wait for you to finish telling your traumatic story. Because guess what? As soon as you done wiped your tear, then they start. Well, let me tell you what had happened with me. And their story is more important than yours and heavier than yours because it's them. These people become trauma bonded. They have a traumatic relationship. They even make love with drama. Sad songs, you know what I'm saying? Oh boy. And they have a train wreck because they live in train wreck, you know, village. Now, what happens is if you have been through a lot of trauma, and a lot of us have, because we were, you know, a lot of us have been raised in a world of oppression.
Yeah.
Even oppressive language, the way a lot of folks speak, is about the problems. It's like we speak ourselves into oblivion because we learned the language of disempowerment. They told you how hard it was going to be. OT, don't do that because you're going to bust your head. You weren't going to bust your head until they told you that. And these are your parents, which are your gods at first. You don't know nothing about no dude up in the sky. Right. These are your mother, your father, whoever's raising you are like God to you as a child up until 7 years old. So they tell you you're going to fall and bust your head. Guess what you do? If you really believe them, these are authority figures. You fall and bust your head. Because the gods told me that I was going to bust my head. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
you
I
were like
understand.
me, I had to prove it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I got to prove. You said I'm gonna bust my head.
Well, I'm
I'm
gonna
up on
prove to.
I'm up on the edge of the couch. You know what I'm saying? With 1 foot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but a lot of people, because we love our parents and our people who raise us so much, we follow what they say. And if they're always talking about the news, what somebody said, it's all about gossip. You wouldn't believe what Shelly Ray told me. What? Man. And they go into this whole thing. They wasn't even there. It wasn't even actual facts to them, but they heard about it. And
Right.
the gossip and what the stars did, and you heard about Poe really such and such, and he got caught up in a scandal. And he, he had, before he was a preacher, he was a pimp. Did you know that? What? Now he's a good preacher now. He got a good choir and a good band. But before that, let me tell you something. He was like the devil himself. See, they start talking. You get this talk.
Yeah.
You very seldom hear about how good a situation could be. You very seldom hear about what we could create.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to hear about how tough it is, how hard it is, and how the world out there is not a friendly place. Now, the truth is there are some disagreeable, terrible things happening, but everything is connected to its opposite. For it to be so bad, it must be good too. Otherwise, this thing would have self-destructed a long time ago.
Yeah.
So good is always right next to bad. They're partners. Up is 1 degree away from up is 1 degree away from down. Black is 1 degree away from white. He is only 1 degree away from she. Everything is connected. So it has to do with your angle. Your angle has to do with your direction. That has to do with how you're moving. You feel me? So
yeah, I feel you.
How you speak is part of what fuels your direction in life. You're the captain of a ship. So imagine you're the captain of a ship. Your body's a ship. And you wake up in the morning, and for 15 seconds, you don't even know who you are. You're nothing until you start remembering. Now, if you were raised to remember nothing but bad stuff and to project disagreeable things into the world, then what you do is you begin to speak the language of disempowerment to the crew of your ship, which is your cells, your organs. They're all listening to you. What are you saying? You see what I'm saying? Imagine you're the captain of a ship and you get up and you get on the public address system and say, now hear this. Now hear this. This is the captain of the ship speaking. It's going to be a terrible day. There's a storm coming in from the east and 5 icebergs are going to be in our way. And, there's those water mines from Japan. They may blow up. And, there's also we got to be worried about the giant octopus squid, which could kill us all. What about the morale of your ship, of your crew?
Yeah.
And there's 25 pirates on the ship and we're carrying cargo. We don't know what's in it. So it could explode at any moment. If your body is hearing that, then the morale, the rule of the ship is this is bad. This is a ghost ship. We're going to die.
Yeah.
If you wake up in the morning with a goal, my grandmother would say, don't leave home without a prayer.
Yeah.
Don't leave home without a direction. Where are you going? Because there's a lot going on out there. You could get caught up in all kinds of stuff. So you need to have it in your mind, crystallize where you're going. Now, you will be challenged, but at least you have a goal. You have to be goal-minded. When you're goal-minded, you're always looking for the treasure map to find the goal, to find the gold, to find the thing that you are definitely moving towards no matter what, no matter how many times you slip and fall. No matter how many icebergs you hit, you're going to get that ship, you're going to fix it up and move towards the goal.
Yeah.
See, your language steers the ship. It steers your life. If you're always talking about how bad it is because you believe the people that are controlling you and eating you, the people that are using you as fuel, the people that it behooves them for you to be blind, deaf, and dumb and ignorant. It behooves them. Why? They make money.
Yeah.
If they can keep you in a perpetual farm and you're just domesticated with a dome over you, and you don't realize that the fence is not even there anymore. The only one that jumps the fence is the black sheep. They tell you don't want to be the black sheep of the family. No, I am the black sheep because the black sheep don't stay in there in that fence with the rest of y'all just waiting for hay from the farmer. The black sheep is jumping that fence, huh? Your black sheep leaves the farm, huh? The black sheep has been out in the world. The black sheep has eaten real grain, real vegetables, or whatever they eat. The black sheep has gone out into the world and knows that there's mountains and there's valleys where there's no fences.
Yeah.
Now the black sheep still might come on back to the farm every once in a while. There's some fine sheep up in there. You know what I'm saying? You come on back and have a good date up in there.
Right,
and then you get up out of there. Put your fur on. Well, it ain't fur. Put your fleece on. You know what I'm saying? And jump over the fence. Being a black sheep, right, is what the most powerful people and the most successful people are. They leave. They're called apostates. An apostate is a person who moves against the mainstream. They call them apostles because they didn't move with the rest of the people. They went out and did their own thing the way they were led by their God. You might see them as being bad. It's bad. They done left their family to help the world. One of my greatest teachers was Dick Gregory. And Dick Gregory and I became very close. And he used to sit and talk to me sometime about how he was a little sad because he was never around his children much. He was traveling, helping to save the world, but he realized he was doing something big so they could be a world for his children.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to leave. You got to be an apostate. You got to leave your hometown. You got to leave what you call your friends because half of your friends are your enemies. If you look up the etymology of the word friend, it says frenemy, or not friend. It has a fiend. It says to be a fiend. And it also says to be the enemy. Look up the word friend. You might not think it's saying something that it's not because a lot of us don't understand English because English has an angle on it. If you got an angle on something, that's a direction. So to change your life, your altitude, you say you want to get better. You want to be this. You want to have a higher vibration. To change your altitude, you've got to change your angle. To change your altitude, you got to change your attitude. Attitude is your angle. Well, you are all that positive thinking, Dr. B. Let me tell you something. I have been very successful in my life many times. I have done things that they said was impossible many times.
Yeah.
Most of what I have done they told me it was impossible to do it. That's all you got to tell me because I'm the black sheep.
Yeah.
We got to become black sheep right now. Stop listening to the news or the noose because they'll hang you. You get hung up on what they're telling you is going to happen.
Yeah. They
said it was a terrible storm coming and it didn't even come. But some people felt it anyway. They believed it. Oh my God, I gotta go. It's a terrible storm. They having a storm bomb. What is a storm bomb? It's a storm bomb coming. Everyone make sure you stay inside and go outside alone because the storm bomb could blow you up. People run to the store. First thing they buy is toilet paper, right? Paper towels. I don't know what this thing with the paper towels and the toilet paper, but they got lots of them. You should have some from the last drama, the last plan down. But you got to get more because that's important. You got to wipe yourself. You know what I'm saying? You need something to pick up stuff, the quicker picker-upper. And then you got to make sure you get canned vegetables and you get all this stuff and you got to get batteries. And my uncle used to say batteries. You got to get some batteries. And see, they maybe didn't sell enough of this stuff during the holiday. So they create a drama day so that you'll go out and buy and spend money because this whole thing is about commerce.
Yeah, it is.
So you have to realize that you're inside of a domestic, farm. It's a little farm. And the only way you can free yourself is to realize what is eating you.
Yeah.
Your music may be eating you. Your relationship is eating you. Your ideas about life may be devouring you. Your words. I have a whole chapter called linguistic parasites. And we talk about, what is a parasite?
Yeah. Let's talk about
it. Parasite is something. Para means beside. Site means life. A life besides yours. What does it do? It uses you as a host. It uses up the resources, the fuel, and the energy of the host. So, you're having a party. You hosting the party. Well, you better have drinks, them red cups. You know, always something about that red cup and drinks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That red plastic cup, which you should never put alcohol in a red plastic cup, because now the plastic is actually becoming a part of the alcohol. So you're drinking plastihol. And actually, maybe that could be good. Maybe that's what's happening with people while we haven't snapped, because we're full of plastihol. Anyway, you are the host, so you got to have music. You got to have wings and chips and dips and whatever you're supposed to have. Otherwise, the party's not cracking. People judge the party on how many things they was there that the host had.
Mm-hmm.
So the parasite's using you as a host, and it's not paying anything. It's not bringing anything to the party. The next thing the parasite does is it uses you to duplicate itself, reproduce itself, and to make love and have babies. The next thing it does is it uses you as a vehicle to take it from one place to another. You are the host of a parasite. How many parasites are they? They can't count them. They now know that there's more parasites than any other thing. Any other animal is parasites. Many different types. You got the little ones that live in your body. They're microscopic. Then you got some that's 33 feet long that take up your whole digestive tract. And you think you're eating, but you're feeding this parasite called the tapeworm. And when you use the bathroom, you using the bathroom of the parasite that's its leavings. A lot of people have no idea that their life is controlled by parasites. Now, language can be a parasite depending on how you use it, because it will use you as a host and use you to travel. So you have this talk, this way of speaking, the language of disempowerment, the language of oppression, and you'll speak it. It's eating you alive. It's keeping you from ever breaking out of the farm and being your best self. You see what I'm saying? You're talking against yourself. Like I was talking to some people the other day, and they kept talking about, well, we got a little project, Dr. B, we want to talk to you about. And we got these little ideas. Everything was little. I said, I can't work with y'all. I said, why? I said, it's too little. What do you mean? Y'all too little. Y'all got a little company. You got a little idea. You want to do this little thing. You want to make a little bit of money. Why y'all need me? Right. One of the biggest problems we have is we think too small. Because you are a prisoner in the prison of your mind, and you think that you're on a farm because the farmers keep telling you you're on a farm and you're not free. Yeah. And then when you try to do something, you want to go tell them, I got to go downtown and get me a paper, get some DBAs and tell the government what we doing. That's your problem. Why you got to tell them? Yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't handle your business, but stop talking so much. But language will eat you alive because you're talking a language and you need to think 5 times before you speak sometimes. Why is your project little? Yeah. Yeah, they up the street. They over there. They trying to start a business. See, listen how you talking about the people up the street. Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to, OT, he got some little talk show. He trying to be like, I don't know, but and see, you talk bad about other people, disagreeable. Why? You're trained to do that, to keep everybody down. Yeah. That is the parasitic way. The parasitic frequency is what we realize, because when you are born in oppression, and that's been the world you grew up in, you look at the oppressor as the winner. So when you start moving in life, you want to be the winner too. So you may become an oppressor and don't even realize it. You may not oppress other people. You just may oppress yourself. Wow. You may self-sabotage everything that could change your life. Now what's eating you is you. Your words, your actions. Then you go meet other parasites. And then we have a parasite relationship. Then we have some parasite children. Everybody's parasitic, waiting on somebody to heal them, waiting on for somebody to give them something. When you're ready to break free calls you. There's an old statement: take one step closer to God or the Creator, and the Creator takes 10 steps closer to you. Facts. What are you creating? The book helps to give you an insight to what's inside you that's stopping you. What's inside you that's keeping you small? What's limiting you? And usually it's yourself. The biggest enemy that we must defeat is ourselves.
Man, you are telling the truth. You are giving people the healing right now because I can say that, like we had talked off air a little bit, and I had to forgive people for who they are for me to heal myself, right? Because I was going down a road last year when so much stuff started happening. And like you said, when you get closer to that blessing, we're going to say when you get closer to that blessing, when you're about to be right there are things that will start to interrupt your path. And certain people started to interrupt what I was doing. And when that started happening, I started getting sick more. I started not feeling good. And you're right about that. I started not wanting to do nothing. And as soon as I broke free, I feel like they're mad that I broke free. And now they're still trying to sabotage, but they can't. They're trying their best, but they can't. Because I went back and I said, you know what? I got to forgive them for who they are. If you was always nasty when you was little, you just grown up to be nastier with a little bit of money. So I had to forgive you for that because you brought it to me because I was right there about to take it to another level. And here it go right there. You're right. You are absolutely right about that.
I'm going to offer a gift to everyone who's here right now. This mantra, or what we call a language syntax, can break you free and break you out of the prison of your mind. And here it is. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfections. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfections. I am going to say it again. I forgive myself. For what? Don't worry about that. You already got something that you feel guilty about that they told you should feel guilty about. And inside you do. You don't even know it in your conscious mind. So I forgive myself for whatever. I forgive my family. You know, we got some issues with the family, man.
Yeah.
You know, some big issues, man. Some of us still got issues with that Christmas where we didn't get what we thought we was going to get. And our brothers and sisters got it, or the neighbors got it. And you didn't get nothing. You got issues with Santa's Claus. So, you know, the family, you have to forgive them and others. Who's these others? Everybody else. The children at the playground, your friends at the job, your cousins, friends, brothers, uncles, aunts, brother. You know, we got issues with others. The Navy, the newsman, the government, the president. You see, when you say, I forgive myself, you open up a gate. When you say, I forgive my family, you open up a larger gate. When you say, I forgive others, you open up the world. For what? Imperfections. Not their imperfections, just imperfections. And once you realize there is no imperfection, there is no perfection. There is no perfection. Nobody's perfect. People got issues in their tissues. They grew up with them. They eat food that gives them issues. They think it's good because they grew up on it. This is how our family eat. This is how we eat. And you don't realize that sometimes the food that you're eating is eating you. But your mama gave it to you. They told you it was good. It was healthy. You know, it was healthy. You got to be careful with these words. Healthy. How come hell? is in this word about being good, about where we get this. It's a program.
Yeah.
Healthy. It's healthy food now. Eat it. Sit there and eat it all. But mama, this is chicken gizzards. Gizzards is good for you. How? It's got a lot of good stuff. Protein. Chicken gizzards. The chickens that you're eating ain't even natural birds. You'll find a white chicken in nature. You won't. You ever ride along, you're going on a country road on the trip, and all of a sudden you find a whole field of natural chickens, a flock, white. No, you won't see them. You only see the chickens on the farm. A chicken is a crossbreed. It's made by man. It's a jungle fowl and a vulture. Now, you'll find some colorful wild jungle birds.
Yeah.
Like the chickens you see in the world that are natural chickens. First of all, they're small.
Mm-hmm.
And they're colorful. This thing is white. Ain't too many animals white in nature because you can't even hide.
Yeah.
It ain't natural. Chickens got to be told when to eat. Chickens be out in the rain just looking up, and the rain will go down their nostrils and just drown them. They got to be told to go in. They don't have the brain. And, you know, I wasn't going to go here tonight, but we're here already. So chickens are very weak because they're so crossbred. They're clones. So they don't develop well. They need high diets of protein. Guess where the protein comes from that the commercial chickens are eating?
Where?
Maggots. Huh? I know y'all are like, come on, Dr. B. Now I got to turn the radio off. You know, this is the radio now. This is like the television nowadays, YouTube, you know. Someone who is listening, go Google maggot farmers. And the first thing they're going to tell you that maggot farmers are essential for the chicken industry. Because chickens don't digest well because they have a very inefficient digestive system. So if you have an inefficient digestive system, you need something soft and digestible with high protein. Maggots. So when we were learning, you know, when I was studying natural health, they told us to go take some chicken, go get your USDA grade A chicken. Put them in a piece of Tupperware, get that good Tupperware, that glass one, the original one, and put it out in the sun. And 5 to 7 days later, it's full of maggots. Where did they come from? Couldn't no flies get in there and land and lay their maggot eggs. It was already in the chicken.
Wow.
We didn't eat this back in the day. This was given to us as a natural food, and it's good. It's white meat. We love it. In fact, everything that we eat, if you say, well, how was it? Well, man, it was good, man. It tastes just like chicken. Everything tastes just like chicken. What was it like? Well, man, it was good. Tastes just like chicken.
Wow.
And I've heard people be allergic to all kind of stuff. I can't eat shrimp because, you know, I'm allergic to shrimp, Dr. B. Okay. You know, I can't eat chocolate because chocolate, you know, every time I break out in hives when I eat chocolate. You know, I got hay fever. I got to be careful in the spring for the hay fever. Well, you know, Dr. B, I'm allergic to about 17 different foods, Dr. B. Have you ever heard anybody say they was allergic to chicken?
Nah.
Because chicken plays with your immune system to the point where it doesn't know what to do. I know we think that chicken is great. Chicken. I mean, I'm in Atlanta right now. This is the chicken capital. They got a chicken spot on every corner.
Yeah, back in the day.
And there's always a church with a chicken spot on the same block. It's going to be a chicken spot, a liquor store, and a church. Then they got church's chicken. I remember going going to the potluck after church, and they had more chicken than anything else. And I realized when I asked the lady what was in that pot, and she started telling me all the things that was in this pot. And I said, I'm lucky if I live after I eat what's in that pot. We just prayed and asked God for a blessing. But if you really read your Bible, it will tell you in the beginning of the Bible what not to eat. And the chicken is one of the things you ain't supposed to eat. Go read it. Breaking your own law. It's a whole lot of stuff they say don't eat. But, you know, this is your book if you're a Christian. They tell you. But you eat it anyway. Because it's popular and it's good. Because you're used to it. Because that's what you eat on the prison farm. So you can't think to the level that you could think. Because if you eat animals that are domesticated too much, then you become domesticated. Yeah. Unless you learn how to convert it. Now, there's some people that can eat the worst food in the world, but their prayer, their meditation is so strong. I'm not telling you not to eat it. I'm saying your resolve, your power, because you can convert anything. You can convert anything. There's people that could drink poison, but their resolve and their power and their spirit is so strong it won't touch them. So I'm just saying, if you're going to eat some of these foods so that they don't eat you, you're going to have to learn the right meditation, the right prayer, and learn about fasting and what kinds of water to drink. And you could do all of that, but if you're wearing polyester, you're done. Come on, this is like a polyester society, man.
Yeah.
People got polyester hair. People got polyester body parts. Yeah. Plastic surgery is actually polyester surgery. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to increase that and decrease that. And we're going to take some fat from here and put a little polyester with it. And you know what I'm saying? And it's polyester surgery. You'll look better.
Man, let's talk about that a little bit, because you talk about, you know, things that you should be drinking, like detoxing. So, you know, could you say that detox go beyond physical, right? So how do these things show up in the everyday life for us, for the people that's watching, for the people that are going to be listening, to the people that are going to be watching on a replay? How can we start detoxing? What are certain things that we can do besides the music, right? What kind of water we should be drinking? Because I drink spring water, right? But, you know, because I remember my dad used to go down to the spring in Virginia and get the water. Now I just go ahead and just get it from the supermarket, you know, and sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, is this really spring water? So what are certain waters we should be drinking? Because they got so many different kind of waters out there with alkaline in it, with pH levels in there, and it's so many different kinds of water. What kind of water should we be drinking to help detox ourselves, to get the parasites and certain things that we are eating out of us?
What you said that's really interesting is pH water. You really do need a doctorate to figure out what the heck you should be drinking and eating. You really do.
For real.
Spring water is the best, but if it's in plastic, now it's plastic and spring water, because the plastic will infuse and outgas into the water. And when that happens, you have too much estrogen or estrogen mimicking chemicals, which are called xenon estrogens. So a lot of people are drinking this water, which is infused with the plastic. So it's best to get it in glass. And also it's best to put a little bit of Celtic, that's with a C, Celtic sea salt. Just a pinch, just a few little granules in your water. Because if the water does not have electrolytes, if it doesn't have the micro minerals in it, then the body says it's not water. It's got to have a little bit of the consistency of the ocean, just a little bit. And the body opens up and says, drink. So there's people that's drinking a gallon of water a day. They're just peeing it out. It doesn't enter the cells, it goes around the cells. So it becomes extracellular fluid. What we would like to do is take that extracellular fluid, which is on the outside of the cell, and get it in the cell. And the only way to do that is to signal the doorway, the gateway that opens up for the cells to drink. And it needs to have magnesium, sodium, and calcium.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're going to get a little bit of that from the Celtic sea salt. Now, some people say, well, I use the pink salt. Well, first of all, a lot of the pink salt wasn't pink until they manufactured it. They making pink salt right now. They talking about from the Himalayas. The Himalayan lady told me, she says, I haven't seen anybody come here for a long time to get any salt. I don't know. That's not the Himalayan salt. You see? That's the Himalayan. See, there's somebody lying. They're making salt. You want something pink? They got, this is a big thing now. It's commercial.
Right.
So they haven't faked this Celtic salt, and it's softer. So put a little bit of salt in your water, especially before you go to bed at night. You'll sleep better. You won't get up and pee so much. You see, put just a little salt in your water. Okay. So I would use spring water. This whole thing about alkaline and all of that. I mean, you got to be careful here, because you could drink the most alkaline water in the world, and your body looks at it and says, "Look, that ain't natural water. It's not natural water. Your body will change everything into what it needs. It will do the work." You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So trying to drink all this alkaline water, it gets changed to the right pH or potential hydrogen that your body desires.
Mm-hmm.
We have to allow our bodies to do what it does naturally. So yes, I would drink spring water, and that's the best. And stay away from plastic. I would stay away from this, mechanically generated alkaline water. If I were you, I'm not you, so you got to do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and there's a lot of things that have a real simple solution. You see?
Yeah. Yeah. So, question, man, I got one for you, right? Because a lot of times, people say, my brain is foggy right now. And then, what are some daily practices people can start, immediately to clear that mental fogness in their brain? Or just period.
Learn to breathe. In through the nose, hold it, out through your mouth like you're whistling. In through the nose, hold it, out through your mouth like you're whistling. What this does is it tells your subconscious mind that you are the captain and the leader of your vessel, and you're controlling breathing, which is normally automatic. Mm-hmm. Normally the subconscious mind and the autonomic nervous system automatically has you breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But when the captain takes control of the vessel, the subconscious stops playing back old files, and it turns the record button on and says, there's something new happening. Let's listen to what the captain is saying. And you will immediately calm down and get clear just by breathing. But when you react to something, you don't breathe.
Yeah.
You just react. You're pissed off. They pissed me off. They're making me mad. You have just given them the power to create anger and madness. This ain't anger, is mad. That's way past anger. They're making me mad. You allowing them to do that? And if somebody wants to go off on you, let them go off. He wants some real power. It's the art of war. Somebody's cussing you out. They done called you every name in the book, and some ain't even in the book.
Right.
You just listen to them. It's going to be challenging because you've been trained to protect yourself and cuss them out or grab them up and snatch their throat. Just breathe. Do the breathing. While they're going off, just listen. And after a while, they're going to stop. And you say, wow, I think you're right. That's going to bring them down 10 notches.
Mm.
I think you're right. You know, I've felt that way about myself before too. I apologize for anything I may have said or done to cause you to feel this way.
Mhm.
I'm going to take everything you're saying into consideration. Thank you very much. You just disarmed them. They feel like they won. Yeah, I got him. I cussed him out. He damn near cried at the end, apologized to me. What you did was took his weapon or her weapon and you turned it against them, like in Tai Chi. They use your own power against you.
Yeah.
I didn't say I agree with you. I said you're right. What you're right means is that you are self-righteous in the way you think. And that's what you believe. I can't argue with you to change your mind. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
So you say you're right. You just don't say chiss. Then you say, I have felt that way before. Well, you know you ain't nothing but a no good. Yeah, I may have felt that way before. I apologize. Here's the power. I apologize for anything I may have said, consciously or subconsciously, to cause you to feel this way or cause you to react this way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Here's the clincher. I'm going to take everything you said into consideration.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. If you can do this, you are a powerful being because you took control of the situation. Mm-hmm. I am the commander. You can't cuss Dr. B out. You can say what you like. You can't hurt me anymore. They already said everything they could about me when I was a child. So what you saying? You remember, what was it? Living Color? Handyman?
Yeah.
Remember, he was handicapped, right? Yeah. And they would be beating him up and kicking him, right? And he'd be like, right, he ain't even reacting. They be kicking him up and beating him up. And he would just say, you can't hurt me anymore. And that was the funniest thing in the world. He couldn't feel nothing. He was a quadriplegic. He couldn't feel nothing from the neck down. You can't hurt me any more than I've already been hurt. Mm-hmm. This is powerful. You can't make me mad. I'm not going to give you that type of power to make me feel sick. But when you say it, when you said, man, they make me sick, your body hears that. You're the commander of the ship and your immune system goes online. Something's making us sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your body starts making macrophages and it brings your temperature up to try to, we need to do everything we can to try to ward off this dis-ease. Something's wrong. Because the subconscious is a simple machine. It doesn't know that this is just in your head and you're reacting emotionally. Mm-hmm. And as you know, energy in motion tends to stay in motion until reacted on by an equal or opposite force. Emotion.
Yeah.
If you could not be so emotional and think 5 times before you talk, we want to jump in. I can't wait till you finish. I'm going to cuss his ass out. I know what I'm going to tell him. And you don't realize that this person is living in the daymare. They're bad enough to have nightmares. They got daymares. They got their own dream state, their own problems, their own issues, their own information. But you begin to take it personal.
Yeah.
And you give them power. My thing is to help people become empowered. You ready to take charge of the ship? Because you're going to have to now.
Yeah.
Because right now they crashing the whole system. This whole thing is wild. It ain't never been like this.
It's true.
They got criminals in office. And tell you, I'm a criminal. I done did the worst of the worst. Yay! Yay! I'm not going to do nothing. Yay! Yeah! I'm taking all the money. Yeah!
Yeah.
Because people have a parasite in their head called toxoplasma. And toxoplasma causes you not to react in a natural way. It causes you to do self-harm. It's a parasite, lives in the brain called the amygdala. I mean, in part of the brain called the amygdala. The parasite's called toxoplasma. Look it up. It causes mice and rats not to be afraid of the cat. The cat walks out and they just look at him. Hey, Mr. Cat, would you like some cheese? The cat looks at him, walks over, just eats them. They don't even run because this parasite, it changes your perception of fear and anger and safety, and it changes the polarity. So you are now afraid of things that can't even hurt you. That's how the news works. They keep telling you how bad it's about to be. They keep telling you about the big thing that's about to, whenever some big catastrophe happens, they don't know what's going to happen.
No, they don't.
They make you think it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Y2K. Remember Y2K?
Oh man, listen, I do.
Man.
I do.
The Y2K bug bit almost everybody.
Yes, it did. I was actually at work. They like, hey, listen, man, we need you to come in because all the computers might go down. I'm like, what?
Toilets was going to be backing up. People were putting plastic on their toilet. It's going to come up.
Oh, man.
The sewage is going to come up. The refrigerators are going to work backwards and heat up like ovens.
Yeah.
Your computer ain't going to know what day it is. All your files is going to be scrambled. What did they have? They had some programs for you to buy, some software.
Yup.
Y2K software. You know how much of that stuff they sold?
Yeah, a lot. Billions.
Y2K. And what happened?
Nothing.
Here's what they could have did, brother. And this would have convinced me. I don't know about you, brother OT, but I think this would have did it. All they had to do was at 12 midnight, turn off all the lights.
Yeah. And then I would have believed you. Listen.
For about 15 minutes.
Listen, I would have believed
me my own self. I get down and praise God. I'm sorry for all the wrong I've done.
I'm sorry. You
please don't let the toilet back up.
Oh man, listen. What? If they would have did that, oh yeah, you ain't lying about that. Man, listen.
Blink the lights.
Yeah.
I'd have snapped.
Yeah.
We woke up.
Sure did.
The next day and nothing happened.
Nope.
Nobody had a problem with their computer.
Nothing.
You know how many software programs they sold?
Man.
They didn't do nothing.
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 Oh man. That is true. That is true.
Marketing.
Yeah. Great marketing too. Great marketing.
Good at it. You got to become great at marketing yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to market yourself in the world. And when you start changing the way you're eating, changing the way you're talking, changing who you're hanging out with, you're going to be tested.
Yeah.
Who you think you are. You didn't change your name. Your mother didn't name you Doctah B Sirius. Your real name, my real name is the one I choose to call myself.
Yeah.
I can't change my name. Use your God-given. God didn't give me that name. My parents did.
Yeah.
I chose to change it. See, we get caught in trying to make other people feel good about life, and we want to be validated by others.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the job, they gave me, Employee of the Year badge. And I even got the cup, and they called me on the stage and they gave me a little plaque. This dude gonna be working at this place forever.
Yeah.
Because the job that ain't paying him what he's worth gave him a merit badge.
Yep.
Put his picture up. Employees of the month.
Yep.
Ain't gave him no raise. And if they did, they raised them up a penny. People talking about, I got a 5-cent raise.
That's something.
And I'm not saying that, jobs are bad. I'm saying that we have to realize what we're doing and be building something else and stop looking to other people to validate us.
Yeah.
Those titles don't mean anything. People keep saying, Dr. B, well, you're a healer. I've never said I was a healer because the only thing I do is help people realize what they are doing so they might change their course to become healthier. I'm not a healer. That's too much. I can't sleep at night worried about all these folks. I'm not trying to make you change your life. I'm just telling you what I see and what I have experienced. It's just my story.
Yeah.
Is it true? What is truth? You don't know what's true anymore. Most of the history that you know is not even true.
Yeah.
That's his story. And the winners told the stories. You don't know the real stories of the indigenous people. Somebody told you that everybody started in Africa. You believed it. You just went along with it. They showed you the map. They ain't even show you the right Africa. You see how small Africa is, the same size as the United States. It's shrinking every year. They got shrunken Africa. Never mind the shrunken heads that the tribe's supposed to have. You got to look at the shrunken map.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Africa take up half the world.
Yeah. Dude.
So the vision and these visions and these pictures they keep giving you, and these words and these descriptions, right? By people who talk a certain way, you know, they were very intelligent. And even us, you know, indigenous people, when we talk like that, as if we have no lips at all, we get more respect. When we talk the way that our conquerors talk and the way they, you know, move about, we have to dress like they say. We have to wear suits. Why am I wearing a suit jacket, a business suit at church? Men got to wear a business suit because this is business. The bowl is coming out. You better put your money in that bowl. This is about an opportunity. We don't look at things in the way that we could because we have chosen to go along with some things that actually, once we are aware, we can change. The book, What's Eating You, is about becoming aware of what is devouring you, what's sucking up your energy and your time, what you could be doing. You could be taking your earnings from your job and building something beautiful. Some of the wealthiest people in the world started in their garage.
Yeah.
One little thing at a time. You see what I'm saying? But we're taught in the system, we're taught to be slaves. We're taught to live a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's okay because most people are never going to make it. It's not about everybody. First thing people say, well, Dr. B, I don't know everybody. How come everybody else don't know this? I don't know why they don't know. Are you going to be able to use it first? And then you want to go and you want to try to tell everybody else what Dr. B said because you want their validation. And if they don't validate it, then, oh, that doctor, he crazy. I've seen him before. You know what I'm saying? He dyed his hair. Somebody called me one day. They said, well, Dr. B, what is that platinum dye, some hydrogen peroxide you use in your hair? Well, I know it ain't naturally that color because you ain't got no wrinkles. That's what the lady told me. You ain't got no wrinkles. What is wrinkles? You ain't got no wrinkles. Caucasian guy says, oh, I really like you, Dr. B. You know, some of the things you say remind me of Moses. But I'm wondering, what's up with the hairdo? The hairdo. This is my hair.
Yeah.
My hair started going white. I had a white spot in my hair when I was in the 20s. I thought it was fly.
Mm-hmm.
But we judge based on what we were given and how we were told to live. The book shows you some of the things. When I talk about the sugar business in the book is mind-blowing. What happens making sugar? I'm talking about white processed sugar, the process. The programming of your history. Do you know anything about the Flexner report?
Nah. Educate me right now.
The Flexner report is something that these rich oil people who was making pharmaceuticals hired this guy named Mr. Flexner. He didn't like black folks. He didn't like white folks. He didn't like himself. He didn't like Indians and Outians, and he didn't like nobody. He didn't like women. So they hired him to write a report. And when he did his research, he came back with that black people cannot work in healthcare because they themselves have a disease. Women are too stupid and ignorant to work in healthcare. They can only hold the tools for the doctor. The doctor's got to be a white man.
Wow.
And they have to administer the drugs that are created by the two people who hired him to write this report. They went and killed natural doctors, drugless doctors, midwives, anybody who was doing anything natural. They had a witch hunt for anybody who was doing anything that could possibly heal. And they created these drugs that cover up symptoms with side effects. And the side effects ain't side effects. They need to call it the effects, because some of those side effects give you the disease. Some of them is worse. Have you heard the one, and they always use this one now. If you experience swelling of the lips, tongue of the lips, tongue, eyes, and throat, call the doctor immediately.
Yeah.
How am I gonna call with a swollen throat? Hey, I guess the 911 operator, they know that's that sound of that swollen throat. He done took that pill. You can't. Some of this stuff says the side effect is you could die.
Yeah.
You can't sue him. Family can't sue him. We told him if he took the dang thing,
he can die. Yeah. Side effect. Yeah. That's the truth.
I'm not saying that all medicine is bad, because in an emergency, you better go do whatever they tell you to do. Don't come to me talking about you want some cayenne pepper and some banana peel juice. You better get in the ambulance, go down there and do exactly what they're saying. Now, after you get out of the hospital, maybe call an herbalist or a naturalist or a nutritionist so we can get down to the root of what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
It's about getting to the root. And that's what the book is about, getting to the root. And not only, did I create this book to help folks realize what's going on with them, but also I created a soundtrack.
Yeah.
So there's a version of it, right? If you get it from what'seatingyou.com and you pick one of those versions, each download of the book, you actually get 2 songs. One of them I played earlier.
Yes.
You get 2 medicine music songs that actually change the frequency of your brain so you can absorb the information. It's like, imagine, your best movie wouldn't be your best movie without the soundtrack.
Right.
If you went to church and, it was just a preacher up there, preaching with no music and no choir, you'd probably leave. Music opens up the gateway for a part of you to be able to take in knowledge at a different level. Yeah. So we've created a soundtrack. There's one premium offer where you get the book, you get an energetically signed copy by me. Mm-hmm. You get the soundtrack, which has 22 medicine music tracks. Some of these songs are 15, 20 minutes long because they're taking you on a journey. They're not just songs. You see, they're healing vibrations, you see. And it's 22 of them. It's 7 hours of medicine music. 7 hours. You could just put it on. Some folks just get the music by itself, and it's amazing because it changes you. Because the whole universe is made out of its energy. It's a vibration. It's all about, this. We live in what they call an orchestra. What do you mean? Yeah. It's all music. A universe, right, is about sound. Every particle, every chemical, everything is about the vibration of it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I go to sleep. I'll tell you this, I go to sleep with like the rainforest sound.
Yes.
With the rain, it's coming down. And I sleep good. I sleep real good. Yes. And when I'm having a stressful day, I say, man, I just gotta just go ahead and just take it down for the day. I turn it on the TV, and it's people can find it on YouTube. They can find it anywhere. But I turn it on, and it just, my whole body just goes through a different transformation. Then I wake up, I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling good.
A lot of the songs, most of the songs on the project start with nature. We went and actually recorded nature.
Wow.
We've recorded sounds from all over, and they're part of the sound bed of the music. Then I'm using instruments from all over the world that are tuned to these frequencies that actually heal. Most music around the world music heals.
Yeah.
It is the commercial music that's putting you in a trance. The music that you're listening to, a lot of it is putting you in a trance. it's actually depressing you. You don't even know it. You've been depressed so long, it's called normal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It causes you to shop and believe certain things. And, they got fashion. What's in fashion now? Fashion comes from fascism. Who chooses the colors of the year? They have these Pantone colors. Every year somebody picks the color of the year. Who's picking that? Who's picking the color that we should look at to agree to?
Yeah.
Like houses right now. I was talking to this person and they're into the housing industry. And they said, well, the color now is like, the walls need to be like a charcoal gray.
Yeah.
What about white? Well, white, that's old. That's like, 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's a charcoal gray now. But I want my walls white, but that's not going to be in style. You've got to stay in style. Well, who is keeping me in style? So a needle on a record is called a stylist.
Yeah.
Who's playing the music? Who's creating what I should like and how I should look? Man, if I wear bell bottoms, you might say, you hottest time, man. You from the 70s. Well, what was wrong with that? The 70s, a lot of folks was, we was breaking out of the system. And right around the 70s, what did they do? They started putting all these preservatives in the food.
Yeah.
They took certain foods, check it out, that were sugary snacks that they called cereals and candies and treats. And they put them 3 feet, no higher than 3 feet in the grocery stores, so that the children would see these colors and these smells, and they had cartoons and everything to go along with them. Yeah. So the child would have a fit if you don't buy them this sugary crack.
Yeah.
So the parents they couldn't take it, so they would just let them have it. I talk about this in the book too. There's an album by George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic called America Eats Its Young. I was very influenced by this project. Just the cover alone is like $1 bill. You open it up as a double album set, and they show the Statue of Liberty eating people. I didn't know what they meant because it was mostly an instrumental, but it was at the time when the Vietnam War was heavy. And people were coming back from the war with no limbs.
Yeah.
They couldn't work. Most of the veterans that came home, they weren't really taking care of them. They were on the streets begging.
Yeah.
This was a very depressing time. At the same time, most people are watching the television all day long about who died, how many people won, and who died, and visions and pictures of terrible stuff. So the world was depressed in America.
Yeah.
So we began to drink more, eat more sugar, which is a drug, take more drugs. Then the people were coming back from war, trying to kill that pain, anesthetizing themselves with more drugs. Then they started talking about just say no to drugs. But most of the food now was drugs.
Yeah.
The food became drugs masquerading as food. A lot of the food that we eat is drugs. You're hooked on it.
Yeah.
You can't go without it. You'll snap.
Yeah.
You gotta have it. And most of it is manufactured. They got a whole look it up. Frankenfoods. Look that up in your Google or your dictionary. Frankenfoods are foods that were never existed before. They're man-made. A lot of the things that you're eating are man-made in a plant. Then they tell you, well, it'd be better to eat plant-based. So you hear plant-based, and you're like, oh, that's better because it was made from plants. Well, which plant? There's a manufacturing plant where they manufactured your food on an assembly line. And it's full of nothing but genetically modified organisms. Most of these, what they call plant-based vegan foods, are full of nothing but genetically modified organisms. Then you end up having a genetically modified orgasm. Ain't no children listening, right?
Nah.
What do you mean? You act like you like something. You feel good. You're clapping when they tell you to clap. You applaud and they tell you something's nice, and everybody says, yes, nice. This record is good. This artist is great. Everybody says, yeah, that artist is great.
Yeah.
When you know that the artist is genetically modified, his voice is going through a machine. I'm a producer.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about how they look now than how they sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I can't hear you, man. You talking, man. You got the genetically modified button. I can't hear you at all. I hear you laughing, but we can't hear you, brother, because you got the mute button hit. Nope, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, bro.
Wow.
Buttons. I'll keep talking while you push more buttons. So we, at a point, have become genetically modified.
Yeah.
Our thoughts, our feelings, and we have a chance now to change everything, because this is a gateway year, this 2026. And this is when we're now in what they call the photon band in space.
Okay.
So every 13,000 years, our solar system goes through this cloud of light in space. Mm-hmm. It's mysterious. And as in it is these little there's these little balls. They're little light balls. They're called biophotons. And they're playing around. They're alive, living little creatures. So our whole solar system goes through that. And when we go through that, we receive more light, more energy. We wake up from a deep sleep. People become enlightened. Their DNA changes, because a part of your DNA called the junk DNA only comes online when you program it. So your DNA, your genes are not controlling your life. Your outcome in life is based on how you act, how you think, and what you believe. 10% of your gene has to do with how you look, how you talk, what you got from your family. But the junk DNA, which is 90% of the gene that they call junk because they didn't know what it did, is waiting for you to act. It is programmed by our activities, how we eat, how we think. It's like an open program that you could change. You could change your genes, your genetic makeup based on your thinking. But because we're in this place called this photon band, they notice that every time our solar system goes through the photon band, the people change, the animals change. We go through a renaissance. We wake up from a deep sleep. We become more enlightened. Our cells come online. We couldn't do this for the last 6,000 years because we were at this point where we were in what they call dark space, or the Iron Age, where it's all about slavery and control and keeping people reduced and deduced and fearful. We now are at a place where actually we awaken naturally. So the program in the system is to scare people to death and scare them from ever waking up. Keep them thinking that it's getting worse, it's getting bad. And for some people, that is true. Yeah. But it also is getting good, because everything is connected to its opposite.
Yeah.
Everything is connected to its opposite. So we have a beautiful opportunity right now in 2026. That's why the book came out in 2026. And that's why we have this new music that we're now putting out. And you can go to elevationtime.com, and you'll hit the book where it says What's Eating You, and that'll take you to the website, which is what'seatingyou.life. So the music is there, the book is there, and even this weekend we're doing an event called what is it called? What's the Unlocking Divinity Codes. Brother Billy Carson and myself are doing an event on Sunday here in Atlanta. It's from 9:30 until 5:30. It's also on the website at elevationtime.com. And this event is going to teach folks and allow folks to tap into the divine part of themselves, which is the part within your genes. There's this mitochondrial DNA, which is perfect. It doesn't have cancer. It doesn't have disease. It doesn't have sadness. It is the part of you that connects directly to what you call the God self. It's called the divinity code. And that part of us, if you use certain exercises, if you eat a certain way, read a certain way, act a certain way, you come online, because we've been asleep. Everybody has been asleep for a long time, just going along to get along. Yeah. We have an opportunity now to change that. So if you're in Atlanta this weekend, go to the website, elevationtime.com, and you hit where it says divinity codes, and it's going to take you to another website where you can come and actually be in the room where we're going to teach you these exercises, and you're going to listen to the music. I'm going to introduce some new drums and some new instruments, and we're going to have some of the herbal, tinctures and things. And Brother Billy's going to teach people how to create a bank, their own bank, and take more, have more freeness in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And learn how to sync the parts of your brain to let go of some of this stuff from the past, and then we're going to do this thing called the core access experience, which is a guided meditation where you're able to change everything. Now, a lot of folks can't be there online for whatever reason. I mean, can't be there live. So there will be an online virtual component. The last time we did this, it was part of what we call God Power, the God Blueprint for God Power. These were the two largest online events of their kind ever done. People all over the world have still changed, and their lives shifted when they learned how to tap into the part of them that's already been there. They just didn't know it.
Right.
I'm looking forward to this. We're getting ready for this now. It is called Unlocking Divinity Codes. It will be this Sunday coming, and it'll even be online later on. So some folks that are not there will be able to go online and learn how to take control of your life. I'll have some books, if our highest choice is to have some books so we can do some signatures. And if you'd like to get a signed book and listen to the new music and do some of the exercises that actually can help change us.
I love it.
Where you at, OT?
I'm right here. I am right here.
We can't hear you, man.
Oh, man, you can't hear me?
The button that says mute.
Man, I can hear you.
There's a big button that says M-U-T. See, this is the parasite toxoplasma controlling the mindsets of everybody.
Yeah.
And when we attempt to change and move towards something great, the parasite comes and creates drama.
Now, I got a question for you.
See,
I got a question.
Can't hear anything.
See.
You look good, though.
Muted me.
Good.
I look good. I look good. I look good. I look good.
You know what I'm saying?
I think they muted me.
The mute button off and on. So I think
can you hear me now?
They're asking Dr. B to end the show.
Yeah, hey, Dr. B. Dr. B.
Do it. Okay, I do Dr. that B. myself. I make sure you go to elevationtime.com, y'all. Elevationtime.com. Get on the email list.
Yes, sir.
And if you join the email list, you'll hear about more events like this. We have an email that goes out usually at least once a week. I am doing a series of webcasts, free webcasts every Saturday. And it's about the book. We talk about the book and I read from the book, and we talk about some of the challenges that we're going through. This is the time that we can change everything. Are you there, brother?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
All of a sudden, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Something just happened. I heard something go.
I'm here. See, that right there is telling us right now that people need to hear this, because a lot of times we'll go mute for people to get it, for people can understand it, for people can hear it. And sometimes God do these kind of things, or the universe do these kind of things, say, hold up, we don't need to be talking no more. This right here is what needs to be said. So T, tell them to take it away. And you already took it away. I tried to tell you this right here, different. This right here was different. Very different. But I gotta leave us with this. We gotta leave with this. If you can leave something for our audience, that would be one powerful truth tonight, what would it be?
The truth is that history doesn't necessarily repeat itself. That's a belief. We repeat ourselves. Everything is happening just a little different. This is time to elevate, to look different, walk different. Leave the farm, at least a little bit out of your day. Take 15 minutes and just imagine you're somewhere else, because the most powerful thing you have is called imagination. I am a nation of genes. I am a nation. Look at the word imagination, break it apart. Once you realize that your imagination is huge. If you think that things are great, you start feeling great. If you think they're bad, then they become worse. A lot of people want to get rich, but poor still got them. A lot of people want to be conscious, but unconscious still got them. Some folks want to be free, but the prison of the mind still has them. But we are in total control based on our beliefs, based on how we feel. Fake it till you make it. Feel better, laugh better. And as my grandmother and mother used to say, if you have nothing good to say, then say nothing at all. It's time to realize what is eating you. The book right now on sale at elevationtime.com is What's Eating You. Also the soundtrack. And we also have products and herbs and things that can help get rid of the mental, physical, and spiritual parasites that will keep you sick, keep you lonely, keep you brokenhearted, and keep you feeling like you don't have power when we actually have all the power. So it's great. Man. It's been a great show, brother. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. Well, listen, before I let you go, I always leave a quote like this to all my listeners and people who's going to be watching it, the replay, and all the people that was watching live. I appreciate you. And remember, your vision, your purpose, and your voice matters. So if anyone asks you how you're doing today, you always tell them, I'm doing better than yesterday. OT loves you. Thank you for joining me and Doctah B Sirius here on the OT Radio Show. And I hope and I pray that y'all got everything y'all got today that can help you. But now, in the near future, for Doctah B, take us out with a little bit of music, sir. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yes. We love y'all. I hope this right here helped you to heal and tap into your inner self again. So as this night precedes us today, I hope tomorrow will be a great day for you. So thank you here from the OT Radio Show, Doctah B Sirius. I appreciate you. And hey, stay in touch.
Thank you. Travel light.
Yes, sir.
Most of that luggage that you're carrying is not yours anyway.
Yes, sir. We are out of here. Doctah B, stay on for a second.